like I never change as far as health. A lot of people feel like I'll never change as financially. They feel like they're going to be stuck at the bottom of the bucket because that's their opinion of themselves. And I feel like the more you live in your opinion of yourself, the longer you stay down there. Like I always tell people, nobody's coming to save you. So whatever output you have of yourself, that should be your best version. Because if you don't think highly of yourself, you'll never be that high version of yourself. Welcome to another episode of Trail Choose Podcast. Man, first off, before I even get started, y'all see I'm wearing merch right now. Shout out to Never Lazy, man. Karina, I definitely appreciate you for all your support. You coming on here, being vulnerable, you coming on here and giving out gems for anyone that may have received it and may have needed it. I want everybody that's watching this episode that's watching this episode, go shop Never Lazy. They're just not starting to get in their men's collection, but they have a lot of feel like everybody can wear it inside and outside of the gym. So make sure you check out Never Lazy. I'll make sure to put it right down below. And yeah, shout out to Karina, man. I love the things that she's doing. To get into today's episode is going to be about acceptance. And that can mean a variable of things. That can mean um receiving acceptance, giving acceptance. But today I want to talk about receiving acceptance. It can be very tricky to talk about because in life you have to accept certain things. In life you shouldn't accept certain things. But I want to do a little bit of a dance between the both of them. So the first part of acceptance that I want to get into is just receiving good acceptance. I understand that, even with myself, I think I was so hard on myself, coming up because of the things that I've been through and the things that I had for myself. My ceiling was so high that I felt like certain things that I couldn't celebrate myself. I felt like certain things that I couldn't accept at the moment because I wasn't who I wanted to be. And that can look like as a form of chasing high expectations, chasing goals, chasing dreams, and just hitting a point in your life where like, okay, it's cool that I'm receiving this, but it's not the right moment to celebrate. I can't accept this from everybody right now. I can't accept this love. I can't accept, the rewards that may come with this because the job is not finished. The job is not finished. I still have more to go. So to most people, accepting things while they're in a mindset of, grinding or goal chasing, it feels as if they're cutting their dreams short by celebrating that one moment or by cherishing that one moment or cherishing the people that's trying to pour into them. They feel like that's, taking a break. And a lot of people that are, destined or that are goal driven like myself, we feel like the moment you take a break is the moment where everything just starts to fall apart. It's more of a if you think about it in a sense of I'm not familiar with the game, but when you take the pieces out of the board, and sometimes you have to take it out so slow that if you take it out too fast, everything will fall apart. It's just like that. As soon as you take a break on that game, everything come collapse. You got to keep moving. You got to keep moving. And that's how it is kind of like, with the goal driven aspect. A lot of people pour into their goals that sometimes they forget to accept things for themselves. A lot of people don't cherish the things that come with their goals before they actually reach the top peak of everything. And that was me. Like I'm like that even to this day. It's a lot of things that I have to be thankful for. I have a degree. I've never celebrated getting my degree. I've never, spoiled myself for getting a degree. It's things like, small rewards, like doing something at work or doing something in my personal life that were personal goals before that aren't as big to me now at my age or that aren't as valuable to me anymore that I still achieve. And it's like, all right, that's cool. What's next? And that what's next mindset can come and kill you at any point of time because a lot of things that are given to us, big or small, can be taken from us in that much of a flash. A lot of these things can come and go, and a lot of people have to learn how to appreciate that. So everything that we receive or accept, we have to learn how to cherish it in that moment. And like I said before, a lot of us are goal driven. A lot of people don't know what acceptance is like because they don't know if they should be accepting anything. And to switch into that lane, it all depends on where you're at in life. I feel like a lot of people um cut themselves short. What I mean by that is, you know, just not being self-aware or having any self-respect for themselves. And that can look like a whole briefcase of different things. A lot of people receive bare minimum treatment. A lot of people receive bare minimum care for themselves. And a lot of people have horrible opinions of themselves. They accept the opinions that they have of themselves, and it also outlines on their mental health and outlines on their physique. A lot of people feel like, like I never change as far as health. A lot of people feel like I'll never change as financially. They feel like they're going to be stuck at the bottom of the bucket because that's their opinion of themselves. And I feel like the more you live in your opinion of yourself, the longer you stay down there. Like I always tell people, nobody's coming to save you. So whatever output you have of yourself, that should be your best version. Because if you don't think highly of yourself, you'll never be that high version of yourself. Most people think that they're okay with receiving bare minimum because that's comfort. You're not asking for too much, you're not receiving too much. And people think that's a great midline to have when in totality, sometimes you should be asking for too much because that's what you deserve. Like, for instance, a lot of people want raises at their job. Are you deserving of that raise? Are you deserving of something more in your life? And I feel like everybody is. Nobody should be comfortable with, receiving just these small causes. Nobody should be comfortable with that because at the end of the day, you have to get up and do for yourself. I always tell people there's nobody that's coming and saying like, "Hey, I see this in you. I'm going to take care of you and do everything for you." You have to be that backbone in your back that take care of yourself. That way you can take care of everything else that you need and possibly take care of others. Because as you grow older, as you dissect into different things in your life, everybody's going to look at you because you're in control of your life. You are in full control of everything that happens to you. You have to be the reason, you have to be the cause of everything that comes out good in your life. Some bad things we don't have control over. And those are the things that you have to accept. The things that you don't have control over, you have to accept those and continue to move on. Those are things that you have to take with a grain of salt and understand this is outside of my control. This is going to happen regardless. This is destiny. What am I going to do to respond from this? That's the type of things that you have to accept and keep moving. Because like I mentioned before, we have full control over our life. In certain situations, there's certain things that we can't do, and cool. I understand that. Certain time frames, certain seasons aren't for acceptance. Certain seasons aren't for us to go back and forth and toe to toe with. That's understandable. But I think everything comes with discernment and everything comes with an understanding. With understanding, your acceptance becomes way better. And that's why I said you have to learn how to dance between the two. Because like I mentioned before, we go through things in our life where we feel like, okay, I may be doing too much. I may be asking for too much. And that's the new norm. A lot of people are comfortable, like I mentioned before, with the bare minimum because we don't want to feel like we're begging. The word begging has been twisted and turned in such a terrible thing that most people think they shouldn't beg or yearn for greatness or, an advance in life. I feel like that was my biggest issue. I felt like I was overly humble. And even with being overly humble, sometimes you can miss out on your blessings. Sometimes you have to say, fuck being humble. Sometimes you have to actually go out there and get what's yours that you deserve. Because a lot of people will play you to the level that you present yourself. If you play yourself as an average Joe, a lot of people will play you at a level or even try to go lower because they are more comfortable with how you see yourself than how they see you. Somebody can see you as the greatest person of all time. Somebody can see you as the most nicest person of all time. But if you present yourself as just somebody that's just sweet, somebody that's just regular, they're gonna meet you at that level. A lot of people are not gonna work you up to see what they see. A lot of people are gonna meet you exactly where you are and respect that level because it doesn't cost them anything. Whole time you're not even at your peak. Whole time you're not even where you want to be, or whole time you're not even where you could actually be. So you have to learn how to accept these things and accept the self-respect most importantly. I feel like that's the biggest thing about acceptance. Understand the concepts of boundaries, the concepts of bare minimum, the concepts of self-respect and self-love. With those four things, you learn how to have perspectives. And with perspectives become the understanding of everything that's presented to you. And with the understanding, you now have responses. And what now with responses, you have acceptance because your response is everything that you need to accept or not accept. Are you going to accept the bare minimum? Do you understand what the bare minimum comes with? Do you understand that it's going to be this? Do you understand that it's going to take a toll on you mentally, physically? Those are things that all align together. That's why it's so important to understand it. Because while I was thinking about this topic, I was thinking about, damn, we have this word that we use, and we don't even use it as much anymore. With the word treatment. I feel like when I was just thinking, like I like to think in metaphors. I was just thinking, like everything that we go through in life is more of a treatment based thing. For example, we have a home. Our homes need treatment. Sometimes we have to repaint walls. Sometimes we have to get maintenance done. Sometimes we have to do this and that. Those are all things that we accept. Sometimes our car needs an oil change. Sometimes our car needs to get fixed. That's an acceptance thing. And we accept that because we know the wear and tear that we put on our cars and the wear and tear that other people may have put on our cars or the economy that puts on our cars and homes. We accept that, but we sometimes cut back on ourselves and accept the bare minimum. Why are we accepting the bare minimum with ourselves when the whole time we accept high standards for our homes, high standards for our cars? Just as much as we need those things, we need ourselves to function those things. You have to learn to not only pour into your materialistic things and people that you love and things that you love, but learn how to pour into yourself. Because I don't know anybody that you know has something bare minimum and has a mental drainage that can go out and function a car. I don't know anybody that can do that and run a home, run a household. It's these things that we pour into. We must learn how to pour into ourselves in the same way. We don't deserve bare minimum treatment. We don't deserve bare minimum acceptance. Nobody deserves to be treated unfairly. Nobody deserves to be treated with less than anybody else. It's cliche to say now, but we all are equal. We all are equal. So, I challenge everybody to learn the aspect of, going out and accepting things for themselves and accepting things that can not only benefit them, but benefit others. Because like I said, your opinion of yourself is where you will be at the entire time. If you feel like you're not worthy of anything, you will remain at that not worthy level because there's no one coming to change your mind. No one is willingly going out and accepting the challenge to challenge somebody else to better themselves. Because now that's taking time away from them. Now that's taking energy away from them. And me personally, I had to learn the hard way because me not accepting things for myself as far as rewards and stuff like that, it caused people to be confused. It caused people to be, um, you know, want to distance themselves from me because it's like, damn, you don't even celebrate this. Like, what do you celebrate? Or is your life just based off goals? Because at the end of the day, once you're in the casket, the goals end. What would you be remembered by? Did you celebrate anything? Did you live for anything, or did you live for your goals? And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with being goal driven. I'm an advocate for it, but I've learned now that no matter how your clock is in your head, we all have the same 24 hours. You can take 1 hour, 30 minutes of celebrating yourself in any type of form or way, whether that be going out, whether that be, you know, doing anything that is, rewarding and fulfilling for yourself. You can dissect those 24 hours and do something for yourself. You can dissect those 24 hours and create boundaries, limitations, like I mentioned before, acceptance. Some of these things people think take time, but it doesn't. As long as you have the patience and understanding for it, it'll all come in a silver lining. And that's really the truth. And I just want to give you guys a story time that runs based off of that. My biggest challenge to myself, coming out of college, I mean going into college, and I tell the story all the time. When I got to college, the first thing I told my mother, and she knows this in full effect, I told my mother, "Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. I'm gonna make it work. I want you to take care of my little sisters and get them everything that they may want or that you can give them." And that was a challenge to myself because I took away the aspect of receiving what I can and accepting what I can in order to, in a sense, allow other people to live in a certain way that I felt like they deserved. I cut short from myself in order to allow people to have a more comfortable lifestyle. That was my idea of, success. Not allowing the person that gave you 18 years of your life, that gave you the best they could, that gave you what they could offer, don't do it anymore. That was my version of acceptance. I accepted everything that I received in the last 18 years of my life, or the first 18 years of my life, and I cherished it. Whether it was a lot or a little, I still took in what it was. Because my vision of, you know, goals were to not see anyone else struggling. Whether I was struggling or not. I never wanted anyone to be doing bad for themselves, whether it hurt me, whether I drowned, whatever the case may be, because at the end of the day, My whole idea of life was to see other people happy. As long as other people were happy, I was willing to drown. And that eventually took a toll on me because now going into the phase of becoming a young adult, I started accepting bare minimum. As long as everybody around me was happy, Trey was happy. When the whole time it was just beating away at me day by day. And I feel like a lot of people can relate to that because sometimes we cut ourselves short in order to please others, in order to, connect with other people when the whole time we deserve way more than we should even be asking for. And that was me. I've done all the things. I graduated with honors in high school, graduated with honors in college. I graduated with good grades. I got good grades. I did everything I did. I worked. I worked hard, worked multiple jobs while being a full-time college student. Everything I did for myself in order to become the man I am today, I did it. And did I celebrate anything? No. Anything in the midst of those years, I never celebrated because the job wasn't done. As long as everybody was happy, that kept the ship moving, but the job still was not done. No matter the accolades, no matter the achievements, no matter the people that I seen happy, the job was never done. And I never celebrated myself because my acceptance was more of a, as long as they're happy, that's okay. But I still have to keep going. It's still other people to make happy. It's still other people to please. And I lost control of myself. My acceptance was misconstrued. My acceptance was, if you want to say, flunky, because Trey wasn't included in his own acceptance. Other people were my acceptance. And I learned to live my life based on what other people were wanting or what other people wanted for themselves. And like I tell you guys all the time before, me being a promoter, that's all in the people's business. That's all about making people happy. That's all about people pleasing. I didn't want to do it the whole time. People that were close to me, my closest friends knew Trey didn't want to be a promoter. Nope. I didn't want to be a promoter at all. However, I did it because it made other people happy and it made ends meet for me. It was nice. I didn't want to go to parties. It was nice. I didn't want to plan parties. So I took the sacrifice of making other people happy in order to receive acceptance from other people, in order to receive acceptance from myself. Because like I said before, as long as people were happy, the ship kept going. I'm moving towards this one goal. And to me, the biggest goal was just graduating. Even when I graduated, that still wasn't a goal for me. It still wasn't the end goal. I just switched it up. Okay, I graduated. Now I want a career. I got the career. Still didn't celebrate. All these things that just kept transpiring and the acceptance in my brain started becoming a trigger effect. So as soon as I reached that goal that I accepted for myself, now another one began. It was never a space or never a time where I took time out to celebrate. It was never a time where I took time to look at the bigger picture. What have you done in this time frame that you have been living? What have you done in these 25 years that you've been living? And have you celebrated any of it? And I can honestly say no, because I accepted the bare minimum myself in order for me to pour into others. But I'm still learning. Even as I come up here and speak to everyone now, I'm still learning. Yes, it's more celebrations in my life. Yes, it's more time that I pour into myself and it's more time that I dedicate to myself. And I'm very understanding of that. I'm understanding of the challenge that I have to face. I'm understanding of it, but I want to get up here and display it for everyone else because I know if I'm going through it, there's a million other people going through it. Thousands of people going through it, hundreds of people going through it. And it may be somebody that's very close to me. So I challenge everyone and I challenge myself to accept the concept of acceptance and remove the visualization of bare minimum or opinionating yourself or, lowering yourself in order to be okay. And like I said, everybody's life is different. Some people are okay with the bare minimum. Some people are okay with going to work, clocking out, and going home and go to sleep and doing the same thing. That's some people' lifestyle. But if you know you yearn for better, if you know you have a bigger aspirations or and things of that nature, go out there and get it. Because the only person you're shooting in the foot is yourself. The only person that you're missing out on these blessings with is yourself. And like I mentioned before, some people are okay with it. So the people that are okay with it, that may be in your circle, they're not going to challenge you. They're not going to push you. You have to push yourself. You have to go out there and work hard for yourself because nobody's going to be around when the clock stops. When the clock stops and it's time for you to go, everybody that's going to mourn you, everybody's going to grieve for you, they're going to be there, but the world still continues. The clock doesn't stop just because you stop. So learn how to cherish those moments, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes to an hour, maybe a whole day or a week. Learn how to cherish those moments and accept the greatness for yourself and learn how to, have discernment and get away from the negative aspects of life because you don't deserve it. None of us do. None of us do at all. And ways that you can do that is just, like I said before, having discernment and understanding that this is not you. This is not what you deserve. Like I said, the boundaries, the limitations are so key in life that people distance themselves from them. Is I can't say the word ridiculous, but sometimes it's shaming that, people would rather go through struggle and chaos in order to, fight out of it or to just live in it. It's not calming, it's not safe at all. So I challenge you guys. I challenge you guys to be better. I challenge you guys to fight for a bigger goal, a bigger aspiration, and a bigger dream. And like I mentioned before, that's the episode. This is part one. We're gonna get right into part two next. So y'all know how I am with the outro. Go.